Pisces, this is Annette with Annette's astrological, and this is your energetic reading for the eclipse season of 2016. And this is a big deal because you are having an eclipse in Pisces. This is your solar eclipse, your brand new beginning. All this is going to be happening, of course, in that first house that regulates how we're perceived by others, what we align with on the deepest level, where we see ourselves moving forward. It's how we establish our identity, how we change and adapt to what others perceive about us in order to get what we want. So there's a lot of energy that's involved at this point. So here's the difficulty that I feel for you. It's incredibly significant during this solar eclipse, is that's the fact that your ruler is going to be conjunct the solar eclipse, but it's also going to be working, your energy is also going to be working in Chiron, but it's going to be squaring off with all the Sagittarian based energy, so that's Mars and Saturn. So there's realizations, there's clarity, there's facing something that is, the first house, I think, is kind of almost important than the sun. Even though when we ask somebody their sign, we ask somebody their sun sign. But I deeply believe that what's more important is what's your rising sign. The first house really honestly defines your interactions with other people, the way they look at you, perceive you, the way that you talk, your actions, your outward projections, and this could be externally as well as what you internally project externally. It's just very complex. The first house is very complex, and so when it's squaring off with Mars and it's squaring off with Saturn, to me, it's squaring off. You want something, you want to go down a road, there's a career life path destiny that you see, that you deeply identify with, that gives you tremendous desire to move forward. There's a way you have associated that path with progression and success and recognition, which all those things give you the attention that you desire, the approval that you desire. But here's where it gets super interesting. So before I start going into it, I want to talk about the fact that a solar eclipse is when the moon passes between the sun and the earth and prevents your sun from shining. So when the sun is in the new moon shadow, the new moon energetic power overrides your ability to shine in the house that it is emphasizing. So what this means is that an emotional clarity comes up that provides us emotional momentum, and then we go through this massive solar reboot, right? Because we have this destined conversation with the moon's energy, because we're emotion-based creatures. That's what sets us aside from all other mammals, is the fact that we have a strong, a definitive part of our mind processes things on an emotional level. And so we need that reboot and a solar eclipse to create the momentum for the new beginning. It's both emotionally backed up, and our desire aligns with our new beginning, that new lunar cycle. So, for you, there's a sense that you are on the right path as far as your career life path destiny. There is a sense that you are about to make and gain some recognition, but others will mirror back the way that you view yourself in the contrary form. So what am I trying to say? Okay. You have a career life path destiny. You know where you want to go. I think there's some clarity. There's been a revelation. I think as you've been working through the Saturn square, I think you deeply feel like you understand what you're identifying with. I think when this eclipse season is ending, I believe that changes. Or you get extreme clarity, or there's a message, or there is some forward energy in a powerful and progressive way that allows you to identify with the correct energy. So for some of you that are not in alignment with what the universe is guiding you, and you are seeking an ideal outcome, never meant to be what you idealized about your life. It was never meant to be your karmic journey, your path, your fated path. I believe that some of you are going to have this emotional and this very, very significant roadblock put up in front of you, so much so that you have no choice but to go the opposite direction. I believe for some of you. For some of you that are on the right path, it's just about the clarity of these are the ways, these are the steps, the progressive steps that you need to make, and it's all about duty and responsibility. You know, Jupiter is in opposition with your energy, because it directly opposes your energy at all times. So there's a sense of you're not task oriented, you're not doing the things, you're not considering details. I think what you're trying to do is sugarcoat everything in your mind, but when the details come in, it seems overwhelming, and then you just avoid and you escape the responsibilities that you need to take in order to, you escape all the responsibilities and the task that it takes to make that progressive movement. So it's a very confusing time. To make it even worse is the fact that Jupiter is going to expand this giant issue. And I believe that others will mirror exactly where you're deficient. So if you're getting a lot of pushback from significant relationships and unions in your life, listen, they are messengers. They are divine messengers. So if somebody's saying, you know what, you're a pig and you are doing nothing but drugs and you are never going to be anything because, you know, you can't seem to get out of your own head, guess what? Probably so. For some of you, you have this creative dream, but you seclude yourself. You don't go out and promote any of your art, but you are this creative soul behind the scenes, but then you probably have this 9-to-5 job that doesn't allow for career expression, creative expression. Then there's going to be some clarity of the fact that, you know what, the realization is if you really want this dream, you have to promote yourself. You have to be confident in yourself. You have to project the fact that you are an artist. You are not a 9-to-5 person working in this job and sticking your nose to the grindstone in order to get just to pay your bills. You're not a source of income to pay bills. You're a source of creative expression. And whatever that creative expression is for you, there's something that you are being divinely guided to define, I think, in this energy. So because your solar eclipse is the new beginning, this will radically change the way you envision yourself over the next 6 months. I feel that there is something that you are avoiding, that you are refusing to see, something that you need to see in order to set realistic intentions. You are so set in your ways that you refuse to see progression and responsibility. Others will open your eyes so that you can't help but see it. There's no way to avoid what you're seeing. Perhaps this is something that you need to see. It may have something to do with your routines that prevent success. It may have something to do with the way that you sabotage your own success, yet work hard to gain success in the same area. So this is a sense of you're spinning your wheels, but you're settling. You know, there's a way you're supposed to be this big, and you're like, okay, I'm here. As long as there's no resistance, I'm okay. I'll just keep doing the same thing, and that's not where you're meant to stay. And this solar event will shed light on an issue. It may be difficult for you to accept that you are the reason that progression is not happening in your life. Some of you love to play the martyr and the victim in your life. You love to make it everybody else's fault that you are not succeeding, when, honest to God, you're not accountable in your life, and you need to start being accountable for your future, for your responsibilities. You need to stop escaping and you need to face these things. There is an alignment that's happening right now that says, do you want all of this stuff? The universe is ready to expand and give it to you, but there's work and there's duty and there's responsibility and there are details that you are not facing that you want to hide from. Sorry, my dog just snored. So what is the special message that the universe is trying to give you during this eclipse season? There's something special in store for you that you must fulfill in your lifetime. You are lost right now trying to figure it out. Neptune is in Pisces squaring Saturn and will help you see these areas that you have submitted to or have just completely refused to deal with and have lost control. This is a very confusing time. You're re-identifying yourself. It is difficult for such a dreamy soul to see yourself for what you're seeing yourself as. There's a sense of facing the demon within, I feel, in this energy. This is a surreal time. I believe that you are involved in a karmic lesson that you seem to be refusing to see. And it's really blowing your mind right now that, okay, you've been refusing to see it, but I think you see it, but are you going to avoid it? Or are you going to say, okay, done, I'm going North Node Virgo time here. I'm going away from spinning my wheels and I'm going to create tasks and I'm going to create a schedule and I'm going to create an outcome and these are the things on my list and I'm going to be responsible for them myself. And there's a sense of accomplishment, and I think that's very progressive thinking. You will be in a state of transformation. You are being molded like a piece of clay by the universe. You are a gorgeous piece of art when this is all done. If you have the patience for the universe to guide you, do not let anxiety and panic kick in. When you go through this square, there's a sense of scattering your energy. It seems like everywhere you're going, there's more coming at you. I feel deeply like some of you that are in the square are, there's no focus. There's no way to focus in this type of energy. There's a flood. What's happened is there was something dammed up and it has flooded out all of this stuff. And right now you're just dealing with the massive cleanup that the tsunami created in your life. And you know what? But in that is, in that clarity, in that tsunami is the new beginning. You know what? Maybe the resort that you were building in your head, maybe you had been maintaining let's say you'd been maintaining a resort that was broken down and you had all these massive repairs and it would cost you just thousands of dollars to restore this resort right on the ocean. Then the tsunami comes in and totally obliterates your resort. And then you just get to start over and build a resort, and there was an insurance payout. So even though right now it feels like a tsunami, by the end of the month, it could feel like, okay, there's clarity. There's, I've always did have these plans. There's a silver lining at the end of this tunnel. So, so what do you do about your endings? So in this lunar eclipse for you, I believe that, well, first of all, let's talk about what a lunar eclipse is. So the lunar eclipse is the Earth blocks the sun from casting a shadow over the moon. This is a significant astrological event because the sun's desire to shine will override your emotional vulnerabilities. This is the reason that so many endings occur around a lunar eclipse, is because you're making decisions based on your sun shining and not so much on the dependency of emotional commitment, that feeling of dependent on that emotional payout. So this lunar eclipse will be combined with a powerful alignment, making the changes you make divinely guided. The sun in Aries is going to align with Mercury in Aries, merging the way you think with what your heart desires on a most simplistic level. You just had this massive flood in Piscean energy, and then you have the Sun and Mercury align both in Aries in new beginning. And it's your new beginning as well. You know, you're ending to this flooding emotional wave and the new beginning of immediate needs, wants. How do I get back on track, take action, and clean up what was flooded out of this tsunami? This is the month that changed. It's changing the what you value moving forward. You may have to face accountability in order to end the scattered energy and lots of different directions and start to develop a focal point. Once you focus on something and add hope to the energy, you always get what you want. The end is you don't stay down long. You can't help. Even no matter how pessimistic something is, in the end, you can attach something to hope and completely get your wish list. It's like you're always constantly rubbing on Aladdin's lamp and getting one more wish. Even though you've you've used all three of your wishes. In this energy, it's about you get your three wishes plus one. And then you rub on your lamp again, and it's like magically you just get another wish. So, even though I still think we still have those energies at play in the lunar eclipse, the ending, the cumulative energy is the realization is computed. I get it. I get my responsibility. I get I'm accountable if you're doing this all in a high vibration, and there's a sense that you need to problem solve. So, over the next 6 months, you're a piece of clay, and I believe that you are willing to let the universe just take you and just make you into whatever piece of clay they have. You are ready for divine intervention. You are ready to manifest what you deeply want and hope and desire. You know that you are in this state of change. Mutable energy is aligning you with hopes, dreams, ambitions, desire. This is very faded. You feel it. You're very intuitive and aligned with the intuitive guidance. So for you, if you were going on the wrong path and the energy just put you on a different path, you're just swimming along. It's like you're a fish in water, and human beings had come in and dammed up where you used to go spawn, and you're just like, okay, well, there's this little stream off over here. I'm gonna go check that out. Pretty soon you have that stream was better than the entire river that you thought you were aligning with before. Beautiful, amazing energy. I love this for you. It's about new beginnings. It's about the end of the zodiac meeting the beginning of the zodiac. It is about the karmic beginning of the new year. It's about all the steps you take moving forward, creating that new outcome. This isn't about getting stuck and holding back. It's about progression and moving forward by the end of the month. The beginning of the month is flushing you with healing energy. And it's about acceptance. It's about compassion for yourself, compassion for others, just complete love and stability. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event.